All right, y'all.
Hey, how's it going?
Allie.
Hi.
Mike.
Hi, Allie. Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Digging the ponytail. Looks good.
I'm in a ponytail right now. Oh, yeah. Thanks. So you're a delegate?
No, actually, my mom is. So,
Oh, okay.
But politics is sort of it runs in my family, so that's why
Where are you from?
I'm from Colorado. Where are you from?
Nice. I am from Illinois originally, but I'm living in. I moved to New York, and then now I'm in Santa Cruz, California.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what brings you here? Are you a delegate as well, or?
Let's just say that. Yeah, I'm a delegate.
Okay.
Yeah, so I very passionate about the Burnster and the movement he's ignited. But what is it? I'm always curious because I have some friends, especially in New York City, who are big fans of HRC. But I'm always asking them, and I want to know this so I can help make the case to my Bernie or bust folk. What is it on a policy level, like specifically? Because that's what speaks to us. That's why we're attracted to Bernie, because he doesn't give us the rhetoric of America's going to be awesome because I'm going to make education good. He gives you details on people are funding, there's moneyed interests that want to, for example, make charter schools, privatize prisons, and privatize healthcare, so he gives you specifics. So I'm curious, what are the specific policies, if you know? Maybe it's not dating conversation, but
I think what we really need to look at is, like, for right now, I can't name a specific policy because I know what she does, but I think what's important to look at is what she's done up to this point. All of the things that we've seen that she's put on the table for us that she did when she wasn't in office. Like, have you been here the whole week? Have you been at the DNC the whole week? Okay, so then you probably heard every testimony of the people that talk specifically. Thank you very much. Specifically about the things that she's done. She's opened schools. She's been there for so many people, like the immigrants, just being there for women, being there for.
My brother-in-law is from Zacatecas, Mexico.
Okay.
He's an illegal immigrant.
Okay.
And one of the people on the campaign, Erica Andiola, is an immigration activist. She is also not a legal citizen. The policies that, if you look at her work as a State Department in the free trade agreements with Colombia and Venezuela, the policies she proposes sound nice, but now that we're seeing leaked emails, we're realizing that she's reacting in a way that obviously is against the unions that we're supposed to be supported. And she took money from private prisons and private detention centers up until October 2015. Those areas are torture chambers for non-citizens.
So I'm a bit confused. So are you, okay, so you're for Bernie, but what is your, because Bernie didn't win. He's not going to be the president. So what is your purpose at this point?
So, it's not as black and white as the media likes to make it out to be. You can be totally, she is the lesser evil. She's not for regular people. She's worked on Walmart. She didn't advocate for trade then. She didn't advocate for gay people when it was the time to be an advocate for them. So she's taken money from private prisons. She's backed by Wall Street, who devastated the African American community when the crash hit. They were targeted. The communities with less representation, poor people, were targeted with these garbage loans. And she's okay with accepting money from them. And that's one thing that Bernie has always stated. But to answer your question, she is not Donald Trump. And unfortunately, that is the way I'm going to have to vote. If it was anyone else, I'd feel more comfortable voting for Jill Stein. But the long-term goal here, there are a lot of party rules that a lot of people don't understand. You can be kicked out of the party if you support publicly a candidate that is not a part of the party. That loyalty should be earned, but they make you abide by it and they force you into their loyalty. If you want to stay in the party, you have to vote with the party, be supportive of party members, even if they are not supportive of your family, of your friends, with their policies. Now, something else no one talks about is third rail politics. That's the people who have a very progressive sound to them, but then end up, the policy, the way it's written, it ends up supporting the very rich. And it funnels money in a way that helps very powerful people. But why am I doing this? Why am I still in the game? Because I know that we can pressure Hillary into progressive stances. My friend Erica Andiola, she was a part of that push to make Hillary stop taking money from immigration, private detention centers for immigrants. She stopped. She did stop. She came to that. But it took a lot of work, years of work to do that. So Trump, he would say, no, F you. He would squash any protests. At least Hillary will hear that, and with a lot of pressure,
so I
think she can be moved towards progress.
I think most importantly, I get it. I get that you're so passionate about the things that you are behind, and I think that's incredible. I wish that the Hillary supporters would have just what you.
We need you. We need you too.
I wish that we had that the way that you guys do. You guys are just always doing something. I wish that we had that, but unfortunately, such a time as this is to be together as a unity and stand behind the party as much as you can, and to be a movement, but don't do it according to Bernie Sanders, I would say, because that's making the party look as though we're split down the middle. And I just think that...
But isn't that the fallacy of how America sells strength? That we need to... Strength means might, and it means not admitting weaknesses. But isn't that what strength really is? Being okay with your insecurities and being able to explain them and express them? I think if we can... I think that the way the DNC is handling this, they should say, yes, Hillary's not the progressive that's Bernie Sanders is. But guys, with your help, we can do this, instead of trying to push this idea that she is a progressive. Be real with us. That's what speaks to us.
She's done so much to show that she has been, though. I just think that if no one supported her, why would we have all these testimonies of the work that she's put into our communities and the work that she's put into our country? I don't think that there would be...
Who's that coming from, though?
It's coming from hundreds of speakers that we've had. For example, you go to the RNC and they hardly have any main speakers, any people that will stand behind them, unless they're, intense Republicans that don't really care what Trump has to say. I just think that if there wasn't anything to believe in, then people wouldn't support her the way that they're doing. So I just...
What makes you passionate about her? I'm sorry to corner you with policy.
I think...
it's exciting having the first... I'm glad that the Democratic Party is the one that gets to have the first female president.
Right.
That's awesome. I wish it was Elizabeth Warren. That's great.
I don't think that would be at all why I would be voting for her, just because she's the first woman president. I think that's amazing, but I don't think that would at all be the reason why. I think she's had so much experience already in the White House. I think that she already knows. I think she's not as temperamental as Trump, obviously. I think that she's just very passionate, and I think that she's even what Bill is saying, that she's been in the game for such a long time before he did, and she took it seriously. She didn't let anything get in her way, and I just think that's what makes me so passionate, because I've seen her work. I've seen just the things that she does for the community, and for most importantly, it is women. I've seen that a lot, and I think that's an important thing to be able to show to the generations to come, is that we're able to have a woman president. I think that's incredible, and that's inspiring for me, because it's hard to live up to that. It's just another step that we have to take, but I don't know, I just think that's mostly why I'm passionate now. And to be honest, before I came to this convention, I wasn't completely for Hillary. I didn't really know because I had met, a couple months ago, I actually met Bernie Sanders and her at a dinner that I spoke at in Denver, and I was like, wow, like, I really feel like Bernie gets me, I really feel, and I talked to her, and I just didn't really understand yet, and then I come here, and I see all of these hundreds of people just sobbing and just explaining, like, how, like, just sharing their testimony of the things that she's done, and it makes me feel empowered, it makes me feel inspired. But
cool. Well, are you going to be involved in like local politics or the party, or where do you see yourself, or what do you do? What's your deal?
Right now I actually just graduated from high school, so I'm only 18. But I think that politics would be something that I'm interested in going into. Especially, I think for right now, it's important to be involved. For right now, it's very important to be involved, at least until this next election. Especially for young people, I mean, we have so much power, and it's important to get out and vote, important to tell our friends, and just to be out there. But
yeah,
I really I like seeing the protests. I like seeing everybody speaking out. So I think that's admirable.
I think the protests are great, but people need to stop being angry at the DNC and start getting involved with it, because my people, the Bernie people, it's like, yeah, you have every right, but it's going to be the same story unless we just take it over. And I think there will also be a lot of learning from that. I've certainly learned a lot about how the party operates. And
right, like Obama said, like, don't boo, like, go out and vote.
Yeah.
And I think everybody, if it's really such a big deal, I think everybody needs to get out and participate and get out and do something. I wish I could be doing more. I mean, I have done a little bit, and we've all been a part of, like, knocking on doors and all of that, but I feel like there's always more that could be done.
If there's one thing that I could do, what would you want it to be for this election? Or, you know. But without a proper apology, I mean, it was revealed last Friday that they were colluding with the party, and we knew it all along, but now it's known, and the response we've gotten is unified. Like, come on, you got to meet us halfway here. Like, you cheated, you literally cheated. The party states they will not. It's in their charter. They will not favor a candidate over another on the national primary presidency. And those WikiLeaks displayed that they were favoring Clinton, and they thought Bernie had no chance. And they were talking to the media, asking them to spin certain stories. The media was coming to them.
Bernie didn't lose by just a little bit. He lost by quite a bit. I don't know what started the word, but I know
Because that's what you told. He lost by 3 million votes, which is a lot. The delegates are earned by the amount of votes you earn from each state. Like, okay, yeah, so I mean, if there was voting, votes were skewed for the state, then that's going to be reflected in the apportionment of delegates. And so when you have the media, which is, the Harvard study came out saying he got 3 times less media attention than Hillary, and only 7% of that media attention was actually on the issues, which is Bernie is only about the issues. that's going to damage a lot. It's going to damage because Hillary Clinton's the most famous person who did. Bernie Sanders, no one knew him. I knew he was an independent senator for Vermont.
So do you
This is the first time in history that we have someone not taking money from banks. That's never happened before. Never.
So that's a big issue.
Absolutely.
Do you identify yourself as a Democrat or a Bernie Sanders? As you see in
I've been a Democrat, but I identify myself as a progressive.
That's super cute. Just thinking, like, it's a good opportunity for branding. You're right. It's gonna be like on that wall. Yeah,
Just sit over there and use this. I said fight when we get here. Yeah.
I actually feel like that's perfect.
I don't think my
But I mean, it's a good conversation. I'm not opposed to that. So.
No, that's a lot, but feel free.
I'm just
be honest.
asking questions.
I am.
Okay, cool. Are you sitting here?
Sure.
Yeah, I think you should sit there. And just talk towards this microphone if you can.
All right.
This thing right here. And try to project a little bit just because it's,
Sure.
So how you feeling?
Feeling good. Erica's. Hallie is a very nice person.
Okay. Remember her name.
She's a sweet girl. She's a little young.
Okay.
She's
To
18.
know. How do you feel about mixing politics and dating?
I mean,
Is that a thing that's gone well for you?
my last relationship, it was really interesting. She was from Europe, and she also has had a very different upbringing, and she works, a corporate job, and I've always been a cook. I've always been like kind of working with my hands, farming and actor and that kind of stuff. So, but hearing like my ex's side of the story,
Yeah.
her
So why is she your ex?
Bernie.
What happened? Dun dun dun!
Bernie. I started working with Bernie, and I was on the road too much, and she basically asked me, could you not continue on to the next state and come back? And I was like,
So she said choose me or Bernie.
yeah, there was that ultimatum pretty much set out there. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
I don't deal with ultimatums.
What about choose me or Hillary? Would that have done anything differently?
Well, Well, I'm not working for Hillary, so.
Well, you're not working for her, but supporting her. She's ostensibly the Democratic nominee.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, she would want me to vote?
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't do ultimatums, but, I mean, I mean, that's ridiculous.
That sounds like a healthy way to do relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
So, just overall thoughts about that date. Do you debate that much in your normal dates?
I guess no. I usually.
Really?
No, I mean, at first I get to know the person.
Sure.
Usually don't come in, as. I mean, we're at the convention. The context of it is political, so there's a lot of emotions going on this week with Bernie.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Well, I mean, a lot of
day 4. Are y'all? What's happening? Are y'all unified?
I think a lot of people are. You're going to hear from the media all the people who aren't, because that's the exciting story. But people have put their life, some of them life savings into this. Some people are dying of illnesses because they can't get treated. They don't have, or they can't afford it for their brother. A lot of people have been putting time into this, and they've abandoned politics, and they brought themselves out of the woodwork for this. And so we came very close. WikiLeaks happened. All of our suspicions came to light, and so it's not easy for people to just say yes and let's go with someone who is against our values.
Do you think Bernie supporters know how to lose?
I think it's a good thing that we don't, because we need to stay focused on taking over the Democratic Party.
Do you feel like you can acknowledge that the system is rigged and also notice that you lost by a lot?
Absolutely.
Like a lot.
I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying, but he won 47% of the Democratic vote. That's. I mean.
We don't have a fact checker.
Sure. He won 22 states and 13 million votes, and a lot of those were caucuses. So, I mean, that's a good portion of the Democratic Party, and they call it the progressive wing as if it's a side issue,
So next day you're on, how do you gauge if they're pro-Hillary, pro-Bernie, how you feel about them? Like, how do you gauge that out?
A state?
No, just like the next day you're on.
Oh, date. Oh.
What are your questions to suss out? Like, toss one.
I would probably start with, like, what do you think about money in politics? Because
that's your first date question?
Oh,
Okay.
if I was trying to gauge their political
That's a fair question.
feeling, but no, if I was on a date, I'd probably just start with, what's your story?
Do you have any political deal breakers?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say so.
Probably?
I mean, I've never really I've never dated a Republican, so I don't really know. But
Out of principle?
I don't think I've met them at the same sort of events that I meet.
That's fair. That's
meditation and,
I don't know if
hippy-dippy
Republicans
shit.
meditate.
I don't know. Maybe they should.
So, you're not going to go on a second date with Allie?
No, Allie's like my little sister.
Okay, that's allowed.
Except my little sister's a real feminist and supports Bernie.
Whoa, real feminist. That was thrown.
No, I'm just saying she's very active.
You don't think Hillary supporters are real feminists?
No. That's a fair interpretation of what I just said.
It is.
I'm giving a shout out to my little sister.
Okay.
She started the feminist club in her.
She's out
school.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say that she's not. I'm saying
That is what you imply.
when I meant real, she's like the real thing. She's awesome. Lizzie's awesome.
Okay. I don't doubt
Shout
that.
out to you, Lizzie.
Shout out to Lizzie. All right, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
Enjoy your convention.
Do you need this space?
Yeah, we do.
Like right now?
How much more time do you need?
5? Can you use 5?
Just like we have a feminist majorities being an interview with Colbert.
About to
Lost
be kicked
your
out of
voice?
this room. All right, we're gonna hear from Allie. Get out of here.
All right.
Go.
Peace. I don't want to knock over your camera.
Yeah.
And now we wait.
I don't know who she is. What do you guys have to go?
She goes, Megan, can you tell Megan to bring her? She's the one with the white dress at the round table.
Have a seat. Our friends on Facebook are gonna kick us out in like 2 minutes. So we gotta get through quickly. How was that? How did you feel?
I feel awful.
Okay, talk to me. Talk to me.
I just felt like I didn't. I think once you realize that I was a lot younger then, I think it went to a point of I didn't really know what I was doing.
So you assumed you were not smart because you were young.
Yeah, and I felt like I had a lot to say, but I think it was just overpowering me, and I'm not like the type of person to just feel
Word. I mean, it was pretty aggressive, I'm not gonna lie.
it was like
Have you found that men's age range for dating is a lot larger than you expect? So he was 26, you're 18. I have found in my life experiences that is not a sizable difference for some men. Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
So do you feel like you have a takeaway about like political deal breakers or anything in particular that stood out to you?
I think if he would have been open to what I had to say,
Yeah.
and maybe willing to compromise rather than saying I'm right, and I like to a point I felt like he didn't want to acknowledge any of the positive that Hillary had to offer.
Do you feel like he's a feminist?
I mean,
No? That was a quick no.
I don't think so.
What happened?
I didn't feel like he was really listening to me.
Okay. Basic listening is good for feminism.
So I think he's a nice guy, but like for me, I don't think I was supposed to be like.
Okay, that's allowed, that's allowed. Do you feel like it's day 4 of the convention? It's Hillary's big day. Do you feel like the Bernie Hillary people have finally, done the party unity thing?
No, I don't really get the party or anything.
Why?